Good morning. Welcome to All Souls. I'm Marlon Lavenhart, a senior minister here. I'm on behalf of our worship team. I welcome you. I want to especially welcome any guests who are with us for the first time. If you're here for the first time, if you raise your hand, we have a gift for you. The ushers have a gift for you, and I think they'll be coming through the aisle. And if you just keep your hand up until they come through. I see Walter's coming down with a gift, so I see some folks with their hands up. Please raise your hand, and we'd love to give you a gift. I also want to special welcome to some folks in McAlester, Oklahoma. A young woman there named Keely Kelly has been watching our services online and decided today, on June 1st, to host a group in the park there in McAlester, Oklahoma. They're watching us online live, and so we welcome you from McAlester. This morning, we will share a version of a ritual of promise and repair that the Unitarian Universalist religious educator Jamila Bachelder and Reverend Molly Hausch Gordon, who grew up here at All Souls and is now serving our church in Columbia, Missouri, originally created this ritual together, and we have adapted it for our purposes today, and I'm so glad that you're here to join us. If you're online and you have a flower and a stone, you can do this ritual with us at home or otherwise be witness to us as we do this together. I also want to welcome a very special guest. Deputy Mayor of Tulsa, Crystal Reyes, is with us. What an honor to have you here. Wonderful. Later in our service, we will be taking up an offering. 100% of it will be given to the Justice for Greenwood. They have a project called Project Greenwood, which is doing some work for repair and reparations and other things, working with the two remaining survivors who are 111 years old, and also with other advocates in the community, including myself, to work on next steps to repair the damage from 1921 here in our community. So we give away our offering plate every week here at All Souls as a way of expressing our values to those who can use it. Also, a couple quick announcements before we get started. I want to let you know that next week we're just going to have one service at 10:30. Every once in a while we come together to two services for one. It'll be at 10:30, and it will be followed by our congregational meeting when we will elect the officers of our congregation and also for our Board of Trustees. And also we're going to have a vote on making our dear Rick Fortner our music director emeritus, as he is retiring this month. So don't miss the congregational meeting, and you can also view it online and also vote online as well in the meeting next Sunday. All right, in our ritual this morning, I want to let you know that we will create a symbolic circle of promise right here in front of the sanctuary, and we will hold it tenderly, and we will acknowledge how at times we have broken it, and we will work to repair it with our recommitment today. Today is the 104th year. This is the very day that 104 years ago, in 1921, there was a race massacre here in Tulsa. We'll be talking about that in the service, and we hold that history very dear to us. We have a connection to that history as a community, as a church, and also many of us do as individuals, some historic and even to this day. So we want to recall and acknowledge and recommit to the ongoing work of repair, both in our city, but also in our own lives. We also include in this ritual the promises that each of us make and that our church makes to one another. So we witness all the ways that we have both made promises, kept promises, and sometimes broken those promises. And today we turn ourselves towards repair and renewal of each broken promise in our lives. We do so for ourselves but also we do so as a congregation and for our city and for our larger world. So for those, again, who are online, I hope you will join us at home. And at this time, I'd invite everyone who is here to stand as you are able, as Reverend Gerald Davis from Church of the Restoration leads us in our invocation and covenant.
Good morning, church. Good morning, Reverend.
This is indeed a day that God has made. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad, and let us count our many blessings. We are grateful for the capacity to see, hear, feel, and understand. We are grateful for the incredible gift of life, and we are especially grateful for the ties of love which bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all our days. Please join me in our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond belief.
From all that dwell below the skies, let faith and hope with love arise. Let beauty, truth, and good be sung through every land by every tongue.
Chalice lighters come forward. I hope you will greet somebody before you sit down. Tell them you're glad they're here today. All right, thank you. And I hope you will continue that warm greeting with one another after the service in our fellowship hall over refreshments. And we have our bookstore out there, so I hope you'll stay and enjoy each other's company. Make some new friends. At this time, I'd like to welcome John Burns, who's a member of our Board of Trustees, as well as Aisha Henderson, who's a member with her family of our congregation, to light our chalice this morning. The chalice, for those who don't know, is a symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith all over the world, and we're very grateful to them for lighting it this morning.
Unitarian theologian James Luther Adams said, "Human beings, individually and collectively, become human by making commitments, by making promises."
The human being, as Martin Buber says, is the promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, promise-renewing creature.
We light this chalice full of promise.
We invite you to join us in singing a song together about freedom. It's in your hymn book, that gray hymn book, 155, and if you would look at hymn number 155, and David and I invite you to sing this beautiful song by Linda Hirschhorn called "Circle Round for Freedom." In fact, I can sing it through, and David and I can sing it through once for you. And we invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing about freedom. This is how it goes. It goes like this. Circle round for freedom. And if you already know it, sing it. That's it. That's great. For all of us in prison, circle for the planet. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle. Let's sing it together. Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace. For all of us in prison, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle. Thank you.
Our ritual begins with the idea of promises made. Now, the word promise has two meanings. Who here has ever made a promise? Raise your hand. We say things like, I promise I will not eat your dessert while you're in the bathroom. Or I promise I will clean my room when the movie is over. That kind of promise is a commitment. And the other kind of promise is about possibility. We say that person is going to be a great performer, or a wonderful father, or a fabulous leader someday. We feel that they have promise. People of all ages make promises and have promise. We make a promise to each other and ourselves every time we join in worship when we say our covenant. Let's say our covenant together again and really think about the meaning of those words as we say them. If you don't know it by heart, it's in the order of service, beginning with the word love. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now, to be a member of All Souls, you do not have to believe a certain thing. You only have to agree to do your best to live up to this covenant, to your promise. And that's how people with so many different beliefs can be a part of this one congregation. In just a moment, I'm going to ask all of the children to come forward with the flower that you are given and place it on this table. You'll create a circle of promises by making a circle of flowers. It will be a circle of flowers showing the beauty of the promises and the covenant that we share. And after you place your flower on the table, you're invited to follow me and your guides to Sunday school. Or if you want to remain in the service, you are always welcome to stay here. Now, will the children please come forward? And on this side, place your flower on the table in a circle, and Reverend Randy and I will help you. You'll circle around the table, and when you're ready, you will come back out and head back to the sanctuary for class.
All Souls as a congregation makes promises. From the beginning, this congregation was formed in 1921. In fact, just a few short weeks before the events that we commemorate today. And this congregation took the name and the mission of being a spiritual home for all souls, a house of prayer for all people. Our forebears made a promise to see all people as our neighbors. It is a promise enshrined in the heart of this community. It is a promise at the center of our chalice flame. It is a promise that we still make.
The second part of our ritual is about promises kept. We not only make promises, we keep promises. Last month, we witnessed 16 teenagers in our coming of age class read their credos, their personal statements of belief from this pulpit. We dedicate babies and children in this church. When we do so, we say, we, the people of this church, understanding our solemn obligations to share in the upbringing of these beloved children, do hereby pledge ourselves to promote their welfare in mind, body, and soul, to the end that they may grow in beauty, love, and truth. Then we tell the parents, remember when this child reaches years of discretion, when they'll be able of their own will to acknowledge the duty to God and to humanity, that you lead them to confirm the meaning and purpose of this hour. We did it. We kept the promise. They spoke from their own hearts. We did not stamp our beliefs upon them. Instead, we gave them the freedom, the resources, and knowledge and experiences to discover and articulate their own beliefs. I hope you feel the resonance of this commitment fulfilled. We could go through many other ways we have been faithful in keeping our promises as a church. In our covenant, we promise to help one another, and our care teams, sending cards, bringing food, visiting people in hospitals, offering grief groups, support cancer support groups, and our hospice choir sings to people who are dying. We covenant to serve others, like our community resource bank distributing food, partners in education, enhancing education and opportunities here in Tulsa. Voting is power, supporting our democracy, and giving away our offering plate every week, using our resources to help shape the world in a way that reflects our values. In this and so much more, we are faithful and full of promise. I'd like to invite you now to think deeply upon your sense of the possibilities unfolding in your life. Where is a promise being kept? Where does faithfulness abide? Perhaps you've kept your marriage vows. Perhaps you've kept a promise to a loved one. As we listen to this next song, I invite you to come forward as you are able to add your flower to the circle to reflect the promises we have kept, to symbolize the faithfulness among us and the promise within us unfolding even now. I invite you to please come down the center aisle and return using the side aisles for our ritual this morning.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell the story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power in each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
Amazing. This beautiful, beautiful circle of flowers representing promises in our lives that we have made and that we have been faithful to and that we have kept. It is just a gorgeous sight to see that circle and to watch it being built with your love and your hands and your hearts. But we are people who break things. We break promises and hearts. We break glasses and lives. We break things out of carelessness and cruelty. We break things that we never meant to break. We break things because we cannot imagine another choice. We break things because we're clumsy. We break things because we're human. This America that Ralph Waldo Emerson called a poem is still, for too many, a lament or a struggle. This Oklahoma, once known as Indian Territory, has at times been, for Native people, more terror than territory. This church that our forebears called All Souls from the beginning has not always been faithful to all people, as the name promises it and us to be. One of our main founders, Richard Lloyd Jones, as the owner of the Tulsa Tribune newspaper in 1921, played a shameful role in the lead up to and the aftermath of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. Our church never held him to account during his lifetime. And for more than 80 years, our church never called out his actions, nor did we teach or talk about the events of 1921 here in Tulsa. Now, as a leading church in Tulsa, we collectively participated in the conspiracy of silence that allowed the massacre to go unaddressed and the destruction unredressed for decades. In that way, this church broke its core promise to love our neighbors as ourselves and to be a church for all souls. Today, we publicly and ritually acknowledge and take responsibility for this broken promise. And we have all, in our own lives, broken promises. We have all hurt others with our actions and our inaction. I invite our youth now to come forward and remove some flowers from this circle to represent the promises that each of us and that all souls have broken or have witnessed being broken. We live entangled lives in a big world that is powered by love and broken by systems of supremacy. And every day we participate in harm without even knowing it, yielding still more broken promises. So Randy and Nicole, Reverend Randy Lewis and Nicole, Reverend Dr. Nicole, will now remove several more flowers to represent the harm that we've caused or allowed without our awareness. It's hard to watch this beautiful circle that meant so much and represents so much be broken, be destroyed. And yet, breaking our covenants is sometimes unavoidable, and breaking our faith with life is real. Precious things are destroyed, even when we deeply regret their destruction. Part of the work of being human is sitting before this broken circle, acknowledging it fully, and refusing to turn away. It is heavy work. We've given you a stone to hold in your hand as you sit with this grief. Some of us will be sitting with the grief and the weight of promises that we have broken in our own lives, in our own marriages, in our own families, in our own workplaces, in our own selves, and our own promise to life. As the senior minister of All Souls, I will especially be sitting with the collective grief and confession of this congregation's historic breach of faithfulness around the events of 1921. I invite others here to join me in that public lament. And for those who have had to bear the negative impact of the ways that All Souls and this city have broken faithfulness in the past, I invite you to sit as well with the grief and the heaviness of the lost promise of Greenwood and what it could have been, the lost promise of those lives and those fortunes that were never regained. There has been immense promise lost. We all sit amongst this brokenness, the brokenness within the circle of the human family. This brokenness is painful, it's real, and it's true. James Baldwin famously said, "Every bombed village is my hometown." Poet Nikita Gill adds, "And every dead child is my child. Every grieving mother is my mother. Every crying father is my father. Every home turned to rubble is the home that I grew up in. Every brother carrying the remains of his brother across borders is my brother. Every sister waiting for a sister who will never come home is my sister. Every one of these people are ours, just like we are theirs. We belong to them and they belong to us. Let us sit in grief and sorrow now together for all that has been lost. Feel the heaviness of the stone in your hand as we sit before the broken circle and refuse to turn away as we listen to the music.
The poet Rashani rewrites, "There is a brokenness out of which comes the unbroken, a shatteredness out of which blooms the unshatterable. There is a sorrow beyond all grief which leads to joy, a fragility out of whose depth emerges strength. There is a hollow space too vast for words, through which we pass, which each loss, out of whose darkness we are sanctioned into being. There is a cry deeper than all sound, whose serrated edges cut the heart, as we break open to the place inside which is unbreakable and whole, while learning to sing."
There is a promise in you that abides beyond your failures and your foibles. There is possibility that you can still make real even now. There are commitments to which we must rededicate our lives. This is a moment where you're being invited to rededicate your life. The final step in our liturgy of promise is renewal. Together we can turn back again and again to the love that is unshatterable, and to it we can rededicate our lives. We must be clear that there is no way to return to what was before the shattering. There is no pathway back to the circle before it was broken. Nothing will be the same. But repair is still within reach. With our rededication, we can make the circle whole once more. I invite you to take a moment now to make a promise to life, to God, to your family, to our church, to yourself, to our city, about how you will move forward now in the work of repair. I promise to rededicate my efforts and the efforts of this congregation to the ongoing work of repair for the impacts of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. I want you to take a moment now to hold that stone in your hand and fill it with your renewed promise. Beautiful. And now I invite you to come forward the same, down the center aisle, come around back on the side aisles, and place your stone in the gaps of the circle to make it whole once more.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. The day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day thunderclouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me.
Behold this circle of promises, promises made, promises kept, promises broken, and promises renewed. Behold this circle that we make and remake, break and repair. God bless you. Now we will do the sacred work to make the meaning of this ritual real in the world. Amen.
As we hold this sacred space together, we pause to reflect on the transitions in our lives, the grief of what's been taken or broken, the beauty of what's been healed, and the quiet strength it takes to begin again. This morning, we light a candle for Mary Levine and the Schnetzer family and the loss of longtime member and former board president, Dr. George Schnetzer, who passed away May 25th. We offer our condolences and light a candle for Beverly and Bill Kello and family on the loss of Beverly's mother, Ava Lavon Church, who died on Wednesday at the age of 91. And we light a candle for member Stacy Beckert, praying for good health and thankful for her being found safe. We light a candle this morning in honor of Pride Month, celebrating the courage, dignity, and sacred worth of our LGBTQIA+ siblings. I invite you now to name aloud someone you wish to be included in this sacred moment. If you've lost a loved one over the past year, or if this Sunday is the closest to the anniversary of a loved one's passing, I invite you now to stand in memory and mourning for a brief moment of silence before the prayer.
You may be seated. I am Reverend Gerald Davis. I'm an affiliate minister here because I am the minister and pastor of Church of the Restoration Unitarian Universalist, located at 1314 North Greenwood. Did you hear me? Greenwood is where I am. And I've been at that church since 1999. But I'm here now with you because that church came out of this church. Dr. John Wolfe and Reverend Yabansi Charles Johnson had an idea that came together, church, that said we can do something unique. And they did. They built Church of the Restoration to achieve racial justice and to promote religious freedom. Church, I'm here to say this prayer, but I am a prayer. You're looking at it. Hear now these words. Oh, gracious God, Spirit of life and love, we are churning, moving, making ourselves more than what we thought we could be. Yes, we have had difficulties. Yes, we have had bitterness. Yes, we've even fallen out from each other. But we are here together because we know there is renewal. You have brought us here together to be more than what we thought we could be. Oh, gracious God, on this beautiful day where we are acknowledging what we have done and the pain that has come from that, but we're here now celebrating that we can make things better. We can always make it better because of you. You give us the power to make things better, to move past all those difficulties. All bad times don't last always. Lord God, we are thankful then because in this place, we know that love will make it. Love will make it true. Love will make us make things better. Love will say to us, each and every one of us, yes, we can. Gracious God, we are praying this prayer because we know all things are possible through you and in your holy name. Amen. Blessed be. Ashe, may it be so.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Sing it with me now. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out. When I breathe in, when I breathe, oh, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out. When I breathe in, when I breathe, when I breathe.
Last week I was having lunch with Mayor Nichols. I think we all know here in Tulsa that Mayor Nichols is the first African American mayor of the city of Tulsa. And we're so thankful. I'm just glad there were 2 survivors left to vote for Mayor Nichols to see this day come. And he heard about what we were doing, the ritual that we were having here, and he said, I'd love to be there. I'm going to try to be there. I've got a lot going on that day. But he said, if I can't, I'll send a representative because I want the city to witness a congregation with the history All Souls has in a historically white part of town and all of that, taking this seriously. He said that if we're going to have healing, people want it to all happen in the political system, in the justice system, those ways, but he said it really needs to happen spiritually as well, and we all have to work at it on many different fronts for true repair and healing to happen. So I'm honored that Deputy Mayor Crystal Reyes is here. Would you come forward and share whatever you brought to share or whatever's on your heart? We're just so glad to have you here representing our city on a day like this. Please.
Thank you, Reverend, and thank you for inviting us today. And these words are from my heart today, so I'm very happy to be here. Still, that was a very special ceremony, so still recovering a little bit. So what a special place All Souls Church, All Souls Church is, a community that has principles rooted in what is basic and true, that we are all human together. And that is what the many gatherings taking place this weekend, 104 years since the Tulsa Race Massacre, are focused on. All across this city, we are continuing the work of naming our city's collective past, acknowledging our city's collective tragedy, recognizing our community's resilience, and most importantly, as we have heard today, taking action to heal and to repair. Your church's difficult connection between one of your founders and the massacre is painful, but I see you transform that hurt into fuel for repair and action. That difficult connection also makes me think of a poem in the beginning of Marshall Rosenberg's important book, Nonviolent Communication. It goes, words can be windows or they can be walls. They can be windows that connect and bring light, or they can be walls that separate and obscure. All Souls Church's founding history is a constant reminder for all of us of the consequences of words, that they can build those walls or worse. Let's continue to use words to create more windows that bring more light. This is the charge for all of us who have a mission to heal and act. Healing from the massacre and the many harms that have taken place here and across our country will take all of us moving together, moving forward together. It will take every sector, government, nonprofit, faith-based community, the private sector, all of us. We as a city and this administration commit to that and stand ready to partner with all of you in the work ahead. Let's use our words to create these windows for the future of Tulsa and the future of our country. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to receive an offering that will be given to Justice for Greenwood. Their Project Greenwood is working on repair, reparations, and other things. Many people have talked about reparations over the years. Project Greenwood is a plan that's very specific about ways that we can create repair and have a brighter future as a city. I love that our children are coming in to witness this place and time when we're giving back. There are 2 survivors left. It would be beautiful if they would be able to see our city doing this work of repair in a really serious and significant way while they're still alive. But we don't do it for them. We do it for us, and we do it for our children. Please give generously as we now receive our offering for Project Greenwood. If you are a visitor with us for the first time and you didn't receive a gift, there's more out on the table. You'll see them in colorful bags. We also invite you to join us if you'd like to learn more about All Souls or have questions. In our Sonnen Library, just out this door to the left is a little library space. We have some refreshments, and there will be someone to greet you, and one of our ministers will come in as well. We're so glad that you joined us today on this very special day. And now, in conclusion, hear these words of our beloved Unitarian Universalist ancestor, Alondria Williams. She invites you to close your eyes, and I invite you to close your eyes if you're willing. Breathe in and breathe out as you listen.
When you hear the word liberation, liberatory spirits, liberatory life, liberatory possibilities, what does that conjure in your soul?
When you hear, we are the liberating force, spirit, light, and love, what does that conjure in your spirit?
When you hear that we have the power to transform the world around us, what does that mean in your bones?
When you hear we are the people that we have been waiting for, we are. How does that feel in your blood?
We are the light. We are the wisdom. We are the ancestors. We are those yet to come.
And how do we fully hold all of that in ourselves? Open your eyes. Look around at the people around you. Go out and organize, serve, and love. Most of all, go and be blessed and be a blessing. Amen.
Amen.